What animals do you think would be the best kissers?
Best kissers. I mean, probably like a chimpanzee. They got some big old lips on them. And
I was going to say like a cow.
Most human-like. They're so sloppy.
It's too sloppy. Yeah, you'd have to be really drunk.
Wait.
Hello and welcome to Whipped Cream Salmon. I'm your boy, Brian Bastanza. He's your boy, Ronnie Sanchez. Together we are Whipped Cream Salmon. This is the podcast where we talk about all things food, friends, and fuckery. Let us do the thing.
Let's do the thing.
Yeah. How are you, Ronnie?
I'm so good. Oh, boy.
Oh, boy.
Started my new job this past week.
Mm-hmm.
Safe to say I will be continuing my search for a different new job.
Trouble in paradise.
Trouble in paradise, dude. You know,
I'm sad to hear that.
Me too. Not all that glitters is gold. And
it was a shiny object.
It is a shiny object, but just wasn't. It's not meant to be. Not meant to be. Not this time.
Do you want to say more about it?
Yeah, I can definitely talk more about it. We should crack our beers though. Been a hefty week for me. I bought 2 different cases, and the first one from this company I did not like at all.
Ooh.
And I didn't realize when I bought them, but they're both 9.5% alcohol.
Yeah, let's go.
That's way too much. Dude, it's like drinking a Four Loko.
2 beers.
But it's from Victory Brewing Co. It's called Berry Monkey Fruited Sour Tripel.
Nice.
From Pennsylvania.
Tripel, like 3?
Tripel. I'm not sure how you say it. Let's see if this one's any better than the first one had.
It's a good starter beer. So if like your friends are already out and you were still at work late, maybe you pounded a 10%er, and then you get there and you're right
yeah,
there with your boys.
If you're late to the party,
yeah,
it's a good starting point.
Good booster. I'm drinking a Singha because I like all their beers. Pretty sure they just make one.
I wish I had one of those instead. This is okay. Just like I don't need a 10% beer.
Sometimes,
I don't know. It's too much.
Okay.
It is kind of like drinking a Four Loko.
What if you put it in a wine glass?
It'd be classier. Actually, the restaurant in town that I've told you about, that when we have Boys Week here.
Boys Week.
I want to take you there. It's called the Stanbury. And it's everything that I want in a restaurant. Like basically cook owned, or cook run, like cook inspired, and it's just like gritty and raw, and it's like being in a dive bar that has like fine dining food and has reasonable price menu. But on their beer list, I was looking at initially I was confused because they have 6 or 7 different beers, and the last one on the list is a Miller High Life, but it was more expensive than any of the other beers. I was like, that's
the
weird.
Champagne of beers.
Yeah. I was like, well, that's weird. And then I look in the fine print and it's a 40.
They got 40s.
And if you order the Miller High Life 40-ounce bottle, they bring it out in one of those chilled champagne buckets with 2 wine glasses.
That's so dope.
It's the best.
Do they have job openings?
I haven't. I've already emailed them. I'm actually. I think I'm probably gonna pop in there tomorrow and see if I can talk to them. I think it's probably a place that people don't leave often. So I don't know if they'll have an opening.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You get in there, tell them you'll scrub a couple dishes and then someone will, get arrested at some point.
Yeah, as cooks do.
Yeah.
But yeah, super rad place. I love it.
Cool.
The biggest downside about working there would be that I'd be working there instead of eating there.
Yeah. You'd eat there sometimes.
Sometimes.
Probably more than you'd eat there otherwise.
Maybe.
You know what I mean? You kind of go out to the spot you're working at once a year, twice a year. How often do you really dine at places more than that? I mean, more than that are like special.
Well, I liked it so much the first time that we went again the next weekend.
Yeah.
And
also, so maybe not.
I want to go again soon.
Yeah. Okay.
They had these, I think I told you about them, but they were like Nashville fried halibut cheeks. And I've just been thinking about that ever since. It was like Nashville fried halibut cheeks, and it had this ramp ranch, they called it. Ramp, like the like wild onions.
Mm-hmm.
So they had like a ranch made with those, and then it was like on this like perfectly toasted piece of white bread, which it just sounds not as good as it actually was, and it had spicy pickles on it, and everything about it was just fucking so good. But every dish that we've had from there, we had some like beef tartare from there that was really good. Had like chicharrones on it with these also like crab crackers, like the rice like shrimp crackers that like puff up, but they were like crab crackers.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we've had from there has just been fantastic.
Hell yeah. That sounds awesome. I can't wait for Boys Week.
Yeah, me too. It'll be a good time.
It's gonna be tight. We're going to come down. We're going to hang out. We're going to, I don't know, play Nintendo 64.
Yeah, stay up late.
Yeah.
I'll get
Cheetos?
Yeah, Cheetos. I'll get a case of Capri Suns. We'll crush those. Yeah. Emmy's upset because she's not coming.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's fired up.
Yeah.
She's a girl. No girls allowed. Yeah, I mean, that was pretty clear.
Figure out what to do with my dog.
She could be a boy. Sometimes when Sammy goes away, me and Emma have Boys Week.
Boys Weekend?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. We just do bro stuff.
Just bro down with your girl dog?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different. Broing down is different when you get older. I find myself now watching World War II documentaries. A lot more than I used to.
Uh-huh.
That's part of getting older, I think.
Yeah.
You get into, you're more interested in wars.
It's true. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so my new job, just didn't really work out, dude. It was just I don't know, just not the right fit. It wasn't what it was pitched to me as, I don't think. Or maybe, I don't know. Maybe my expectations just weren't met. Crazy hours there. I don't know like how any restaurant can operate by like expecting all of their cooks to work between 50 to 60 hours a week with split days off.
It's weird.
It's just crazy.
And you were telling me earlier about the split shift as well.
Yeah. Yeah, so the way it was pitched, or at least the way I understood it, was there was like a morning shift and an evening shift. And really I was hoping that I could get in with the morning shift, it's like prep and then work the lunch, which would have been ideal. But the reality of it is you get in the morning for prep, you work the lunch shift, and then you were expected to clock out at 2:30 and then hang out, I guess. Like I wasn't going to drive home and then go back.
How far is it?
It's about 20 minutes, so it'd be 40 minutes round trip.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to clock out for an hour and a half from 2:30 to 4, and then clock back in, and then work the rest of the shift. It's like I have to be gone for 13 hours, but I'm only going to get paid for 11.
Yeah.
Ish.
What was it? Because what is it? 10 to 10:30 minus an hour and a half. So that's 11.
Yeah.
Yeah. Super odd, man.
Very odd. I've never heard of that before.
I think it's odd. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, yeah. Hit us up if you've had a similar experience. I've not heard of that.
And what I don't understand is they pay out a ton of overtime. And I think I was saying this to you earlier. They pay out a ton of overtime. If you just split the shifts and actually had a morning staff and an evening staff, and you just had both of those work normal hours, you would save, maybe have a couple people doing that full shift if they were wanting to. Maybe like the salaried employees. But it doesn't make sense to me to have all these people making so much overtime instead of just splitting the shifts and having a morning crew and a night crew.
You could have more help for the same amount of money.
Yeah.
And your employees would be more happy.
Yeah, they would, and they wouldn't be as tired.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be pissed off that they have to clock out and wait around for an hour and a half.
What can you do in an hour and a half?
I don't know. I would just like go and sit in my car and like run my AC because we're in North Carolina and it's only getting hotter.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm just like sitting there burning gas. Stupid.
Yeah.
It's really stupid.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm with you. That sucks.
So, anyway, onward and upward. On to the next one, Yeah. I mean, I took the job pretty quick because
it sounded awesome. I mean,
yeah, it sounded awesome, and I needed an out, and so I took it. But yeah, now it's time to shop around.
Yeah, nice.
So.
You think you're gonna try to apply at a few different places? Do you have some nice restaurants in mind that are close to you that you're interested in?
Yeah, I am. I did apply to that Stanbury. I just sent an email, but I'm gonna go maybe tomorrow. I'll go in person. Well, today's Sunday. They're closed Sundays and Mondays, so I'm gonna go in on a Tuesday. But I am gonna go and find wherever I work. It's either gonna be dinner only or breakfast only or lunch only, whatever. Only one. I'm not about this breakfast, lunch, dinner life anymore.
Yeah.
Too old for that.
I mean, what if you like just locked in one shift?
Yeah, that could be.
We'll give you mornings.
It could be okay.
Yeah.
But then there's always that chance like, hey, the night guy called out. Can you work?
Yeah.
So and so's on vacation.
I mean, yeah, I just choose your choice. It depends. Some places will do that a lot, Some places will try to do that often. I've also worked at places where there were split shifts and like that just didn't happen that often, or if it did, it happened pretty rarely, Yeah,
PJ's was that way. Like, I mean, morning guys never worked at night.
Yeah.
But having worked in places that are dinner only, and not only do I want a place that's like one or the other, but I want to work at a place that's closed 2 days a week. Guarantees that you're always off the same days.
Yeah.
And I need that at this point in my life.
Is that hard to find?
No, I mean, I think more and more restaurants are trending towards being closed. Most of them are closed Sunday, Monday. Yeah, Lulu's in Reno, they were closed Sunday, Monday. So, and it's nice because so often in restaurants, you get to like, you meet all these people at work. You might work with them for years, but there's a good chance that you and your best friend at work never actually hang out together outside of work or have a day off together.
Right.
Because if you're off, they're covering for you and vice versa.
Yep.
But if the restaurant's closed, well, then it's a good chance that you can all go and do stuff together.
Yeah. Go do some
fun.
bro stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll find one of those places, and then during Boys Week, we could all get together and podcast.
I also am going to use this time to focus on getting my own thing rolling.
Hell yeah. Mm-hmm.
I'll light that fire because your boy's getting old. And I don't want to work for other people for forever.
Especially if they suck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of them suck.
Mm-hmm.
There's some good ones out there, but
for sure. But you're just at the mercy of whatever's in your proximity and what you've tried in the past. And yeah. If you do it yourself, then it's all you.
Yeah. And at this point, I mean, we've run enough other people's restaurants for them,
Sure.
Pretty confident that I could maintain it on my own.
Yeah. I mean, other than just keeping the lights on, paying the bills, like do all the same stuff.
Yeah. What have you been cooking? Because I've not cooked at home since since I started.
I've been on a roll.
Yeah, you got all dialed in. What do you got going on?
Yeah, I got all my Bonnaroo meals cooked, vac sealed, frozen.
Let's go.
Right now. So I made first I just had a bunch of vegetables and I just cut them all up and I fired up the wok and I was just wok sauteing like every vegetable. It was tons of vegetables.
How you liking using the wok?
Oh, so good.
So fun.
Good. So fun. Yeah. I mean, I've used it very limited in my life. I'm like, oh, this piece of kit is so fun. It's so easy. Like, you don't really have to maintain it too much, unless you really fuck it up. But it's kind of hard to fuck up. I kind of noticed, and you can kind of hit it with a metal scrubby, and it'll maintain its seasoning and all that. Yeah, it's just awesome. It's super fun. It's super fast, super hot. It's awesome.
Love it.
So I did all that. I did a bunch of, I think I got one of those double packs of thighs. You know what I'm talking about? There's the regular pack of thighs. That's maybe 8. This might have been a 16 pack or something like that.
Yeah.
Cut that up, did that in the wok. Also, then I made some meatballs.
Okay.
Pretty standard pork, beef, breadcrumbs, garlic, some herbs from the garden. Made a bunch of those, cut those in half. And then I had some sausages, some hot links, and some kind of regular links, sweet Italians. Cooked all those up. And then I kind of just assembled 3 different dishes. Oh, I made a couple sauces. I kind of made I don't know, nothing's authentic or really good. It's camping food, right? It's kind of this teriyaki-ish sauce. I made one with I put a bunch of vegetables, the chicken, and some rice in there. I made another one where I made a bunch of orzo and did that with the meatballs and some feta cheese and some olives and all that.
Nice.
And a lemon vinaigrette. Poured that on there. Bagged that up and froze it. And then the third one was it's more rice and the hot links and the and some beans. I had some black beans. And I actually just had a can of salsa that I kind of drained and I kind of poured that on there as the sauce for that. So kind of a little red sauce-ish kind of thing.
Cool.
And yeah, so I got 6 bags of frozen, flattened meals. Probably, I'd say that there's 12 meals in there.
Okay.
For the 2 of us. So that's really good. Yeah, probably 2 quarts in a bag, probably. And then,
nice.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna do boil in bag for your hot food? And
I don't know. I don't even know if I'll boil it on a bag. I'll probably not.
Just pull it out, eat it cold.
Well, I was figuring I would just throw it in a pot with a splash of water and just heat it up.
Okay.
Just because I don't have a big old. I'm only bringing the jet boiler, so
gotcha. Okay.
We'll just do that. But actually, we got some news that Alex, our friend, he's like doing the vending at the festival, and he said that they do vending in the campground, in general admission campground.
Cool.
And he's going to park in a spot at his like food truck.
Okay.
And he said we can camp with them, so maybe we will have access to like some burners and shit.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
A pot of water, save you from doing dishes.
For sure. Yeah.
That'd be cool.
So that'd be really cool.
Because that's the worst thing. I mean, doing dishes when you're camping is miserable.
Maybe we'll go over there. You hit up their dish pit and everything. You know.
Yeah, that's really the move. Yeah.
And also today I made like some cucumber kimchi, quote unquote kimchi.
Nice.
It's not really fermented. It's kind of pickles with gochujaro and some fish sauce and garlic and some rice vinegar. Made like a paste with that, and actually put some gochujang in there too.
Cool.
Spicy. And then had some like kind of chunked up English cucumbers, and yeah, just threw that together. First salted the cucumbers, kind of drained out the liquid from them, rinsed them, threw the paste on them, and then I vac sealed that. So that's coming with us. Probably got another 2 quarts of that, maybe more.
Nice.
Of a little snack to crush some veggies, get some newts in us.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. I got a decent amount done pretty quickly. All kind of came together Saturday morning, got everything frozen. Then I did the cukes today. So yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Love it. When are you guys leaving on your trip?
We're leaving Wednesday.
Okay.
I'm off Wednesday. Sam's working Wednesday. I am. So yeah, I'll get off Tuesday. Pack the car and do some stuff on Wednesday morning to get ready as well, and then we'll hit the road. We go to Chattanooga, which is like an hour outside of the festival grounds.
Okay.
Staying in a hotel. I'll probably do shopping in there, because when you get to the grocery store right outside the festival, it's typically a shit show. So we'll do that far away from there. Probably still be people there.
Yeah.
Looting. Then we'll cruise in on Thursday morning. And yeah, that news about the being able to camp with Alex and Kat is big. Like I said, they're like kind of by the woods and shit. So you like go and take the hammock and set up the hammock in the woods and chill out in the shade a little bit. That's that can be pretty tough.
What's the weather supposed to be like? Because it's been pretty toasty here.
Yeah, it might be rainy.
Yeah.
It's scattered tea storms for all the days. I mean, honestly, like you said, you make this point a lot where it's like kind of happens every day anyway.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're fully prepared for that.
Word.
I'm in the camp of, if you're not prepared for it, it's definitely going to be worse than it was going to be if you didn't prepare for it. So yeah, I mean, the only thing I need left to get is maybe a poncho, but I could also live with a garbage bag that I poke a hole in for my head.
I got a couple Haunch and Tigers ponchos if you if you want to borrow those.
They're cool. I would like one. I actually would like to get one, a little one that like folds up into a pocket and has a button on it,
So go to Walmart, and
I was just there. Damn.
In like the outdoor section or whatever, they sell rain jackets. They actually sell like full rain suits, but the brand is called Frog Tog. And
Frog Tog. And
it's coincidentally, it's what like ultralight backpackers, a lot of them like swear by these jackets because they weigh nothing and they pack up super small, and they're raincoats, and they're cheap. I think they're like something between like, I don't know, $10 to $20.
Nice.
Yeah.
Damn, I was just there.
Yeah, you can buy like a full like pant and jacket like combo kit, or you can just get the jacket. I have one, and yeah, it's been great, and they're like super waterproof. So,
damn,
hot tip.
I wish you told me that an hour ago, because we were just at Walmart. I have a new gripe.
Okay.
It's not solely with Walmart, but really hard to buy 35 millimeter film, turns out,
Oh, yeah.
if you're not on the internet.
Yeah.
Yeah. I went to 3 different places, and Sam went to a place yesterday, and none of them had 35 millimeter film. Target, Walmart, Walgreens, none of them. I was able to get some film developed at Walgreens.
Okay.
They said if they don't hit me up in 3 weeks to give them a call.
3 weeks.
Yeah.
Whatever happened to the 1 hour photo? Pop copy.
That's long gone. I was realizing all that. I was like, dude, yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, I used to be able to get that. I mean, obviously, it's obvious what happened to that industry, right? I mean, everyone has a cell phone now, and not many people are using film like that. They're still selling disposables, but to find little like 35 millimeter film is more challenging than I thought it was going to be.
Interesting. I think that there's like, I could be wrong about this, but I think that disposables even are not quite what they were.
You mean they're not as good?
Well, I don't know if they're not as good, but I think that they work differently, and probably because of that same reason that it's hard to get film developed. I feel like I've seen ones that you like take the camera and actually like when you're done using it, you mail the whole thing back to the company or whatever, and then they print your photos.
That's kind of what this was. Even at Walgreens, they like I had to put 3 different rolls in 3 different bags and fill them all out, and then I ship it to them, and then they don't develop it there.
No.
I mean, I'm going to try to find a spot, hopefully in Charlotte, that will do the actual developing, but they take them, they ship them out, they ship back. I don't know. They print it back at the spot. They like send them a CD. That's like, they're like, oh, you're not going to get your
CD.
negatives back. Yeah, you're not going to get your negatives back, but you will get a CD with your images on them. I was like, do y'all have a CD player I can use or what? Like,
I don't even have a CD drive in my computer anymore.
Yeah.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. I do have one lying around, but it's like the one that you have to plug into the USB port, you know?
That's funny.
Yeah.
That's really funny.
I'm sure in Charlotte, a big enough city where like there's people who are niche, like that are hobbyists of film. And I'm sure if I look hard enough, I can find like a camera store or maybe a place that does that, you know?
Does Walmart, they don't do, I feel like I've seen in like the electronics section, they have like the film like printers. But I could be wrong.
For them to print stuff like them.
Well, I think for people to have
a dark room or something.
I don't think so. Oh,
they have Polaroids. Polaroids are cracking off nowadays.
Yeah, because you can develop them immediately.
Yeah, no one needs to develop them for you.
When I was younger, I had like a number of disposable cameras that I just never had developed.
Still don't?
No, I mean, I don't have the cameras anymore, but I remember I had like 3 or 4 used up cameras with film on them that I just never got developed.
Got to get those.
They don't exist anymore.
Those cameras?
Those specific cameras. I don't still have those. I don't have them.
I bet they exist somewhere.
In a landfill somewhere.
That's probably true.
Probably floating in the ocean somewhere now.
Damn, Ronnie. That doesn't make you a bad person or anything, does it?
No, not me. Who, me?
No.
I had kind of
we all throw things away.
I had kind of a funny week at work, though. There was this kid that was working there. He's a culinary student. And he was working at this restaurant as like his externship for the summer.
Okay.
And he's just the whipping boy there. Kind of feel bad for him. I mean, it's just like, it's really the restaurant. It's just everybody's kind of walking on eggshells. It's just like tense in there all the time. And which is weird because like the executive chef is cool. Definitely like pretty, I don't even want to say that he's like super strict, because I don't know that he's that he has high standards, but I wouldn't say he's like strict in the sense of like he's like yelling at people. But
you're making sure that like your uniform is tight and stuff like that. Like,
yeah, there's certain things that they're super particular about for sure. But anyway, so this kid, he just like he can't do right, you know, like no matter what decision he makes, it's just the wrong one.
I've seen these people before. But
he was, you know, quote unquote training me my first day, and just kind of trying to like show me the ropes, you know. He's been there for 2.5 weeks, so he knows barely more than what I do about the restaurant itself. And you know, he's 19 years old, and he means well, but he kept all the time. He'd look at me and ask, be like, "Okay, so have you ever used a piping bag before?" I was like, yes, I have. And then we'd like go to do something. He's like, "Okay, do you know how to use the tear button on the scale?" I was like, "Yep, yeah, I do." I do. Thanks, but it was like, it was a lot of that, you know. And I was trying to be like, you know, I'm not saying this by saying like there's nothing that I could possibly learn from this kid, you know. The fact is that I started cooking, or at least working in restaurants before he was born at this point, which is a tough pill to swallow on my end.
Yeah.
but yeah, it was just really funny that I was like following this kid around, and he was like demoing like how to do certain things, and I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to do it quite like that, but I get I get the gist of what you're showing me, you know.
You should have yelled to him on your way out the door, like, "Thanks for teaching me the tear button, dude."
But yeah, no, I mean, the whole week of like just kind of walking on eggshells. There's really not strong leadership there, and I think like if you're in a leadership position and you have new people, like they have a really high turnover rate there. If you have people coming and going all the time, and your leaders aren't willing to lead, well, there's a big part of your problem right there. And like when new people come in and they're asking how to make something or where something is, and you can't be bothered to help them with that, that's a fucking problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
For sure.
Like I said, I have about 20 years in the restaurant industry. I've never done sushi. So there's certain things like I wasn't familiar with, or certain ingredients that, you know, I maybe wasn't familiar with. They're
Sure.
like, get the Kawasami chili out of the walk-in. I was like, I don't really know what that is.
I get that it's a pepper, but is it a ground up pepper?
Is it
a fresh pepper? Is it a dried pepper?
Like, I have no idea. I have no idea what I'm looking for. So
right.
It is not really helpful.
Yeah.
So it's just not a fun kitchen to be in. And at this point in my career, I don't need to be. I'm past the point where I like feel like I need to be walking on eggshells and like grinding to work my way up in the restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
Not that I don't need to go and improve myself, but I'm not about being the whipping boy in the restaurant anymore. I did my time, you know.
You want a reasonable work environment? Yeah.
Yeah. I worked at the bar station at PJ's for long enough, you know. I've been the whipping boy. I made family meal every day.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to be that position anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
Not that that's really where I was put at, but just, you know.
Could tell.
Yeah. It just wasn't a fun environment to be in. I want to be where people are having fun, especially if you have to be there all the time.
For sure.
Yeah.
Work sucks. At least if it's fun, it's better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least you have people to commiserate with.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there was another guy there. He's only been there for like a month and a half. And, you know, he and I kind of spent a lot of time. Well, we were on the same station together. So we were kind of spending a lot of time like commiserating together.
Mm-hmm.
Just being like, why is this like this? You know, like, wouldn't it make more sense? Why do we have to do this? You know, those kind of things. But he was definitely more like optimistic and like, well, be the change you want to see.
Yeah, I get that sometimes.
I get that. But at some point, maybe the structure has already been built and you're just a cog in the machine at this point. So it just wasn't a good fit for me.
It's a hard balance to make. But it comes up,
Yeah.
at whatever job that you're in. Am I sufficiently grateful for the opportunity? Am I, if I'm unhappy, should I just, help the things that I can control? That's usually the answer to some extent. Eventually, it's not like in sync.
Yeah.
Right. And like you're, I've left every job I've worked at up until the job I'm working at now. We all have. And, eventually you get to a tipping point where you're like, I don't know that I can affect the change, that I want to see.
Totally. And especially if you're not like in this instance, like I wasn't brought in as the sous chef or the executive chef or anything,
Right.
I was brought in because I was like, oh, this would be fun to learn sushi.
Yeah.
So it is hard. It's going to be hard to change the culture when you're at the bottom of the totem pole.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't often work that way.
You got to fight your way to the top, and then
right.
No one's got time for that shit.
Well, and I'm not gonna like knock off the Japanese guys that have been doing this shit for fucking 20 years.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to come in and learn from those guys, and I did learn some stuff, but it was just not a good culture fit. Ultimately, is what it came down to.
Word.
You got fun animal facts for me?
Fuck yeah, I do. I do. It's animal time.
Animal time.
Do we have a name for this segment?
It's the Whipped Cream Salmon animals tips for people that don't know much about animals.
I got a great one this week, Ronnie.
Okay, let's hear it.
To the point where I focused so much on the animals that I didn't think about the idiot sandwich or the tip of the week, to be honest.
I really didn't either. I do kind of have a funny story, but...
Did you know that otters, when they're sleeping, they hold hands with each other so they don't float away?
I did know that. They're adorable. Actually,
so cute.
Rochelle and I saw 3 river otters
holding hands
at our. They weren't necessarily holding hands, but they were all swimming closely together. Maybe underwater, they had their hands together. But
they had some clams.
Yeah. At the one of the lakes that we walk Stevie around all the time. There's kind of like a wetlands area. It's really cool, actually. There's all kinds of wildlife in there. We've seen, snakes and so many turtles, snapping turtles, and birds of all different kinds. And now we've seen river otters in there. And there's like evidence of beavers there because there's big dams and, you can see where they've chewed down the trees. And did I say deer already? We saw a big deer in there. Or we've seen a couple of deer in there. Really cool spot. But yeah, the other day we saw there's 3 river otters swimming around in there, which was super cool to see.
That's cool.
And they're so curious. They're not afraid to.
They're interested in you.
Oh yeah, and they dip underwater and then they'll pop up and look at you, and then go back down and then pop up behind some reeds and still looking at you. They're pretty funny looking. They're cute. Good tip. I mean,
vicious maybe.
Trivia: are they vicious? If you're a fish, maybe, or a clam.
I've heard that they're not the kindest if you're over by them.
They looked like they wanted to play.
Okay.
So
should have thrown them a ball.
If I had one, I would have.
Yeah. Nice.
They got good hands. They'd probably catch.
They got claws, right?
Yep. I think that they also will hold on to a pebble. They'll find their favorite pebble and they keep it
forever
and they carry it around. Yeah. And they'll carry it around with them until they find one that they like better than that one.
That's cool.
And I think
do
they
the
just
stuff
hold
like
on
that
to
too.
it for like forever.
I do stuff like that too.
Yeah, me too.
I got a water bottle right now that I really
I think they
like.
call it autism, but
And when they hold hands, it's love on the spectrum.
oh my god! Have you watched that show?
No.
Oh my god! When Rochelle put it on a couple weeks ago, and I was resistant to it, and then it was like I had to watch the whole season once we got it on.
Oh yeah, were you got gripped by it?
Dude, I mean, yeah, but then there's parts that it's so hard to watch because it's the cringe factor is just out of hand.
Yeah, I guess like I like I don't know if you're resistant in the same way. I'm like, I don't know that like this that I need. It's like almost like watching animals in the zoo. Like
Yeah,
that
it feels
feeling?
like exploitation. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But you know, love is love. I'm happy.
No, and I support
happy for them.
I support that, of course. You know?
Yeah. Anyway, did you know that crocodiles have a tongue fixed on the roof of their mouth?
It's on the roof?
Apparently.
You're really into tongues lately.
Oh yeah, my last one was a tongue tip too.
That's really cool. That's neat.
Yeah.
Is that just crocs or alligator or both?
It just said crocodiles. Maybe alligators do as well. I don't know. I can't say I've ever seen. They can't move it either. It's just fixed on the roof of their mouth.
Sounds like they wouldn't be a good kisser.
Probably not.
It's just a fixed tongue.
Yeah. And they got all them teeth and no tooth.
What animals do you think would be the best kissers?
Best kissers. I mean, probably like a chimpanzee. They got some big old lips on them. And
I was
they're
gonna say like a cow.
most human-like. They're so sloppy.
It's too sloppy. Yeah, you'd have to be really drunk.
Way too much tongue.
Yeah, that's true. All right.
Oh, it's time for the idiot sandwich.
What are you? Idiot.
You stupid idiot!
I'm an idiot sandwich.
You're an idiot! Of all the idiots, you stand alone.
Idiot sandwich.
Brian doesn't have one.
I don't have one.
The other day that kid, the 19-year-old, he was showing me. I don't know. Have you ever used one of these? Whenever I've cleaned a deep fryer, just always been old-fashioned way. You empty it into a bucket, like a metal pot, and pour it through a strainer. But they had one of these things that you like wheel it around, and you open it up, and it's got like a container that you pour all the oil from the fryer into, and it goes through a filter. But then this machine like plugs in, and it's got a hose, and you can like refill. Has like a pump, and it refills it. You've used one of those?
I have, yeah.
I don't know that I like it more than just using a pot. I think you got to clean that thing.
Yeah.
It's just like it's like a whole nother thing.
Like what problem does it solve?
Yeah, kind of.
Lifting things?
And you have to store it. Whereas if you're just pouring it into a pot,
You can use that pot for things.
you're going to use the pot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really love using it.
Okay.
Anyway.
So that's an idiot sandwich?
No, the kid the other day, he when he was filling the fryer initially, we were instructed to overfill the fryer past like the max line. Because I guess when you're doing tempura, you need the oil level higher for whatever reason. Because when you're like, you dip your shrimp in your, like, you know, when you like wash the shrimp in the oil, you like drag it before you release it so that if you were to release a shrimp or something that's covered in tempura batter, it could just go straight to the bottom and stick to the bottom of the fryer. Whereas if you like let it hang in the oil for a moment, the batter will kind of cook enough before you release it that it won't stick.
Yeah.
So for whatever reason, we were told to fill the fryers just a little past that level. Well, he filled it too much. And then he went to drain the fryer. He opened it up and was like pouring into that caddy thing. And he walked away. And I was standing next to it and I look over and it was just overflowing.
Oh my God.
So I quickly like reached over and shut it off. But
hot oil?
Yeah, hot oil. It's 350 degree oil, like spilling all over the back of the kitchen.
That's super tight.
Super tight.
Is that your 19-year-old friend?
Yeah, that was my first day there as well. So, yeah, idiot sandwich.
Did you get in trouble for it? Did he blame it on you?
No, he didn't get in trouble either. I think we got to. Well, I think the important chefs were already gone at that point. You know, they don't stick around for that.
Yeah. Well, congratulations.
Yeah.
You made a new friend and gave him a sandwich.
Made him a sandwich. Made a friend.
Congratulations to him.
Congrats. Do you have a sandwich?
No, I yield my time.
Let it be known that the gentleman has yielded his time. And it's on to the Whipped Cream Salmon School for Cooks That Don't Cook Good.
Woo! How do you do it? Let me hit you with some knowledge.
This is the moment we've all been waiting for.
Brian, do you have a tip for our listeners?
I'll give a cop out one, which is just try your hand at some pickling some stuff, Pickle some cucumbers.
That's not a cop out. That's a good one.
Yeah, pickle some cucumbers. It's pretty simple to do. There's a lot of different recipes, a lot of different cultures, cuisines have pickled cucumbers.
All kinds of things.
I was talking earlier about these Korean pickled cucumbers, but standard American pickled cucumbers. Sometimes they just call them pickles.
I've heard that.
Really simple. Yeah.
I've heard that before, actually.
It's not that hard. Look up a recipe and do the thing.
There's a lot of different ways.
I like the salt brinded ones too. You
salt,
like those are...
Yeah, you can salt brine them. It's called a quick pickle, where it's really just kind of like a quickly marinated cucumber or whatever you want. But you can also do a fermented pickle. Actually, if you have a vacuum sealer, you can do that really effectively. Lacto ferment. Just look up a recipe because it could be dangerous if you do it incorrectly. Botulism is a real thing. But and also if you do it correctly, it'll look like there's something wrong with it because the vacuum seal bag will inflate like a balloon. And that's just all the gases inside of it doing their fermenting. And it's pretty cool.
If I just take my pickles out of the fridge, is that it?
What?
Well, so I have my the Korean ones I did. They're just in a vacuum seal bag in the fridge right now.
Oh yeah. So to lacto ferment,
you need milk?
No, it's the lactobacillus.
Oh, okay. Thanks for clarifying.
All you need is salt, and you got to look up the percentage. I forget off the top of my head what the right percentage, but you take a percentage of whatever the weight of what you're pickling, and you weigh out a percentage of the salt, and then just toss that thing in salt and put it in a vacuum sealed bag and leave it out at, in a dark place in your cupboard or something. And then after a couple days, it'll do its thing and it'll ferment and you'll have delicious pickles. And then you can put it in your refrigerator to stop the pickling process.
Okay. Nice.
Or at least slow it down. It'll continue for a while until it's done. But the refrigerator will kind of stop it ish.
Nice. I'll
Yeah.
try that next time. I'm not going to risk it for the biscuit because I don't want to get sick on a camping trip.
Yeah, I mean, probably not the best time for experimentation.
It might pickle out there anyway. Who knows?
Yeah, when your only facilities are porta potties, not a good time for experimentation.
Experimenting with bacteria. Let's play with bacteria. Yay. Did you say it's the Whipped Cream Salmon School for cooks who don't cook good and want to do other things good too?
I didn't think I said that last part, but I think I said the first part.
Oh, okay.
Can you fact check me on that?
Okay. I will review the footage.
Yeah, review my footage. My tip is if you are in a position of management and your job is to lead a team, then you should accept that role means more than just being good at your part of the job.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a tip.
It's a great tip. It's an important tip.
Yeah. Yeah, you should, if you're in a position of management, you should be able to do all of the jobs below you and teach people how to do all those things.
Being really good at the thing, no matter what job it is or career that you have, is not the skill of management.
No.
That is separate from whatever the skill is of what your company produces. Management's a different skill.
Yeah.
So if you're doing that, that's a skill you need to have.
And make time to teach your employees and don't just be upset that they don't already know what to do.
I think it's pretty cool though, when you know everything and you can just shit on other people for not knowing all the things you know.
It's cooler for sure.
That does make you a better person, obviously.
It makes you a better person, and everyone else should feel bad about themselves for not being as good and knowing as much as you do.
Yeah, goes without saying.
Mm-hmm.
Really.
And on that note, you'll stay creamy.
Stay creamy, y'all.
We love you.
Hit us up on Instagram.
Yeah.
Whipped Cream Salmon Podcast.
Cream Salmon Podcast.
Email us.
Yeah, whippedcreamsalmon@gmail.com.
Yes.
Yeah, we've been getting a lot of new listeners recently. I don't know that we have any new countries per se. But thank you guys so much for listening. It's been awesome to see all the new people tuning in. So moving up, we're a couple episodes away from our 52nd pod episode, which will mark the 1 year since we started doing this. So yeah, pretty cool. Look at us. Who would have thought?
It's pretty cool, I thought.
And we might have a special guest on soon.
Yes.
Pretty excited about that.
I'm excited.
Cool. All right. Love you guys. Talk to you next week.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye.